So welcome to Sunday Night Spins here at 35 to 1 Roulette Cruisin. We spin out a few strategies, discuss some things, cruise related, roulette related. So any questions or anything, just throw them in the chat for me. And let's see, Aaron's on here. He says, have you run Point Pusher at 200 a spin yet? I have not. We ran it at 135 on the last cruise on Voyager, and it did pretty good. I mean, and I got a good average for it. The one pit boss, he gave me like a $150 average, and then it was one that gave me a $200 average for it. But there's been a few videos that have come up with some people that have tried the Point Pusher, and I don't know, it's questionable whether it's working for them or not. I think with that strategy, you have to do some form of modifications because it's hard for your wins to outrun your loss, right? Even one loss, it takes 3 wins to recoup everything you just lost. So, you know, if you have 3 losses, you're going to have 9 wins to get that back. So, you know, that's the one thing about playing a strategy that has that much coverage. Your win's not going to pay you that much profit. So you have to kind of do a little, you know, changes here and there to kind of hedge it just a little bit. Maybe, you know, modify it to pull a chip here and there or add chips or whatever to see if you can kind of increase some profit opportunities. Okay. Let's see, Andrew, how you doing? And MJ, hey buddy. If y'all have any questions, be sure to throw them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer whatever questions come up. You know, I'm just here to have fun and chat with you guys and see if there got any strategies that work out or not. Got anything you want me to run out? Any strategy you guys can think of you want me to do? Start the night. We normally start the night with $1,000, and we see if we can run an hour, multiple sessions, and see if we can finish off with, you know, either profit or break even or how much we've lost, right? Let's see. So Ryan says, okay, Ryan says he's done it a couple times at 225. He's raked into points. Can't say that I walked away up any of those sessions, but definitely made some points. Ken says we're still playing Point Pusher the same, or he's got a question. Still playing Point Pusher the same. Yeah, I mean, as far as playing it the same, let's just do the Point Pusher. Everybody's kind of, you know, liking the Point Pusher. It's kind of 50-50. There's people that play it, they say it just went terrible for me, but then there's some that play it and say, man, it's great. And like Ryan says here, you know, if you're just playing it for the points, then it's a great point. You know, I don't know how to even phrase this. It's good for points, okay? But you got to be willing to risk whatever you're going to lose, right? You got to be willing to lose it to see it, and hopefully those points will out. You get more points based on your loss. I mean, I guess is kind of what I'm getting to, you know. So if you lose $200, you would hope you would earn, you know, 400 points, you know, something like that. Let's see, MJ, he says, I like the mod you did on Point Pusher. Okay. All right. So we've done a few mods. So let's do the Point Pusher. So we're going to buy in. Let's just buy in for $300 for Point Pusher. And remember, cash on the table, see pass card, they'll scan it, give it back to you. You put it away. That's how you get your points on the cruise, if anybody was wondering, okay? Most of us know how the Royal works at this point. Let's see, so I've got $300 in red chips, which are $5 each, so $100 a stack. Ryan says, I did it the very last session, pulling the winning quad, and it worked out better in my opinion. Okay, and Andrew D says, I have a $90 Point Pusher mod, changed the $10 to, okay, yeah, that's the one, Andrew, I remember you saying, I actually had a note here from last week that I wanted to try your modification, and let's just see how it does. Do you wait for that to win before you make that change, or do you just start it that way right out the gate? That's kind of what I'm curious about. Do we want to run it like Andrew's saying here? So what Andrew is saying, he says he's doing the $90 Point Pusher, Okay, so that is essentially setting it up. We got 3 stacks of 30. That's kind of how I explain it to some friends of mine. Okay, so we know there's those there. There's 2 chips on those 3. There's 2 chips here and there, and then there's 2 chips here. Okay, so based on what Andrew's saying, he says he changes his $10 2000 to a $5 000 split, okay, and adds $5 to the column. Hey, Crap Master, how you doing? And let's see, Andrew says, start it that way and make the column your money maker for a $15 win. Okay, because that way you have, I mean, you've got 12 numbers that pay you 15. But do we lose anything? I don't think we lose anything. I think there's a push everywhere still, isn't it? The only thing I think this does is opens 1, 2, 4, 5. Does that seem about right? 1, 2, 4, 5, I think is their only bus numbers. So if it lands on the column, so there's 7 chips there. So 2, 4, 6. So there's 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that would be a 3 chip profit if it lands on the column. Okay, and Andrew, I like that. So let's run it that way. So this is the point pusher at $90 with Andrew's modification of, instead of playing the basket for 2 chips, we're going to play the split 0 00 with 1 chip. Now you could move this to the 1 0 or 002 003. You could kind of move it around if you wanted. But let's just go with the zeros. That's what he's saying to do here. And Aaron says, what about moving that extra 5 to the 1 1 4 column? So here, so instead of putting it on that column, you're saying put $5 here. I mean, it would turn that, it would kind of be an insurance on that, but it would only be $10 insurance. Yeah, so it'd only be $10 of insurance if you had it there and it hit 1 or 4, because if you had 5 there, you would only win 5 and 5. So I'm not sure if it's worth the insurance with that, Aaron. Just kind of looking at it, what I'm thinking here. Okay, so let's run it like this. So we have 7 chips. 7 chips on the 3rd column, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 1 on the split here. And let's see. Let's go 20 spins. Let's see what happens. All right, everybody good with my volume? You know, as far as I got new mics. I don't know. 1 4 1 4. Okay, you think he meant here? Oh, he did say, no, he said column. Maybe Aaron means 1 4. I don't know, it wouldn't be much of an insurance. I like the idea of those 12 numbers paying us 15. I like that idea. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so 7, okay. All right, so that should be a push because that's going to pay 16 chips and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. All right, that's a push. Okay. Everybody in agreement? Says, Aaron says, my bad, yes, double street, but a long day. Okay, but, okay, so Aaron, I kind of like the idea of having it there instead of here because it's only going to give you 5. You still got a pretty big loss no matter what. So let's put it there. Let's try to make it be profitable instead of just insurance. Just an idea. All right, and 23, that's a push. Let's see. All right, I kind of like what we're doing here. I think Sunday nights is kind of where we start putting these strategies to work and really ironing out some things. All right, so 15, so there we go. All right, so that should be a 15 chip profit. Let's see, let's rake it. Let's just confirm. I don't want anybody to say I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so there is that there. Now we're going to reset. 2 there, 2 there, 2, 2, 2, and 1 there. And there's 3 chips profit right there. Okay, so let's just stack our profits here in front. All right, I think we might be on to something if we can stay away from those 4 bad numbers. All right, Dan says, I like the adjustment. Need to win more often to not die that slow death. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that idea too. I don't like adding an extra number, but we also, sometimes we'll pull these to risk more anyway. So, I don't know. Let's just see if it works out. I like the 12 numbers for a 3 chip profit. But you got to have a bunch of them. Let's see, we're at $90. That's 15. Yeah, we've got to have like 6 wins. Okay, 31. Two, 3. Yeah, we'd have to have 6 wins to recover 1 loss. Could we get 6 wins on that column? I don't know. 13. Well, at this rate, we can't. All right, so we won that corner bet right there. Let's just take 1 chip off. Let's take 1 chip. Just risking a little bit just to see. You see if we can just nickel and dime it some. Okay, 34. Okay, so that 1 chip's off there, so that is a win right there. So we're going to take this 1 here. And maybe doing this every once in a while, you know, do this for like 3 wins, and then go back to the push. Okay, 22. Okay, so that is the 1 chip profit right there. So we're going to go there, and we're going to take this one back here. Let's try it one more time. Let's see, Andrew. He says, I have played around with adding $5 to 3 corners after a column win. And I have done that too. If you win, then press those 3. But you got to pick three to press. You got any way to determine which ones you press. All right, so that is 3 wins. Okay, so we're gonna reset that. Now, look, we have $30 right here now in our profit pile. We've hit these 2 columns several times, so maybe we're about to get on a run for the far column. And the other day, I played this the other day, and I hit that 1 column like 6 times in a row. So if we could do that, it would work out pretty good. All right, that's a push. All right, we got 21 folks here watching. If y'all could, hit that like button for me. And, you know, maybe we can get some more people in here. I'm sitting at like 1,450 subscribers right now. We're pretty close to 1,500. Trying to grow the channel a little bit. It's going pretty good. Anybody got any questions? All right, 8. Well, we have gone a bunch of times without hitting that column over there. All right, 16. And it's going to make me start pulling chips off of these corners here pretty soon. Let's do it. All right, we're going to pull 1 chip. And that worked out. Okay, so because I pulled that 1 chip, that's not a 3 chip profit. I think that would be a 2 chip profit because I pulled the 1, but you could say it's a 3. Okay. Now we're just going to reset. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 1. Okay, so there's those 3 chips again. Okay, all right, there we go. We're just building our profit pile. All right, so I think the people that are having trouble with this strategy working for them are the ones that's not trying something, that's not doing some modifications to make it kind of work the system a little bit. And there we go. We got another $15 win. All right. Because the coverage is great on this system here. Let's see. All right, let's see, 33. There we go. That's another $15 profit right there. Bring that back to our rack there. Trying to see here, so we got 4 numbers exposed, so 34. All right, that's 89% coverage is what we're working with right now. So 16, that's a push. That seems about right to you guys? 89% coverage. That's pretty good. All right, there we go. Finally got our first bust. That one kind of hurt. All right, so what do we have here? So there's 45 and 35. So we're actually only down $10. All right, so let's reset. All right, so we said make 3 stacks of 30. And 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 1 there. We're going to add the extra chip to this 3rd column. All right, you guys still there? Still following along? Okay, 31. All right, that's a push. All right, 32. And that's another push. Okay, so that was 20 spins at the $90 level. Where's my clipboard here? So we went 20 spins, and let's say they gave us 90 points. So we're going to say session 1 was, we got 180 points for that. See if I can do a little better on keeping up with our points. Let's bring it all back to our rack. All right, so after 20 spins, we are down $90. Okay, so we have only lost $10 on that 20 spin session. What do y'all think of that? All right, so that is 200 and there's 75, 80, 85, 90. Okay, so there's $290 back to our wallet or whatever. All right, did my chat freeze up or something? Okay. All right, so did any of you see the City of Gold strategy this past week. I think, Ryan, you sent it over to me. But the City of Gold, dropping everything. I think it's got potential. Let me restart this right here. Okay, so the City of Gold, we're going to start out with $500. All right, so there's $500 there. Oh, there you are. Hey, my chat froze up, so I had to restart it. Okay, so I'm missing some of y'all's chats. All right, JH says, how you getting free cruises? Okay, so JH, we, most of us play on cruises, and we play, the table games. A lot of people play slots. We earn points while we play. So your bets are averaged out. You get points based on that average. And, after you play for a little while, you check your points with the cruise host or whatever. You can check them with your card at the slot machines. That's what the card here is for. Just to remind you, when you play at the table games, you got to give them cash with your card, because that's how you collect your points. And after earning so many points, you earn a free cruise, or you earn opportunities for free cruises. Okay, so that's just the easy way of saying we earn points to earn free cruises. Let's see, Ryan, when's your next cruise? Okay, so Ryan, my next cruise is May 23rd. So a couple weeks. 23rd on Freedom out of Miami. I think it's only a 3-night. I try not to go to Miami for a 3-night, but it was a free cruise offer for 2. We have 2 cabins. My wife has one, I have one. Both our daughters are going. So anyway, so it's a free cruise. So we're going all the way down there for the free cruise. And of course, it's over Memorial Day weekend, so that kind of worked out too. Only had to burn 1 vacation day to be able to go. So worked out. All right. Let's see. Craps Master. Let's perfect this strategy before July 3rd so I can use it on a cruise. Okay, so you saw that one. It worked out pretty good. So that was 7 chips there and 2 on all the corners with 1 on the split. And you can move that split wherever you want. You might move it to the, 0, 0, 1 or 0, 2. You could split it anywhere on these 4 numbers right here if you want to. Let's see. How much time would a 20 spin session take? This is from MJ. So MJ is asking how long does 20 spins take? All right, MJ, it's according to the dealer. I have seen it to where 20 spins in an hour, but I've also seen 40 to 45 spins in an hour. So it's just according to how fast the dealer is at clearing the table, paying the bets. As soon as he gets everything paid, he removes the marker. He gives you just a few minutes, or not even a few minutes, a few seconds to start betting. Boom, he spins, he drops the ball, and it's gone. So 40 spins, he's moving pretty good. And you got to know what you're doing with putting your chips out. So anywhere between 20 to 40 spins in an hour is kind of what I would say. Probably average 30. Okay. Let's see. Who else asked a question here? 20 spins. All right. Steve says, hey, just got here. Hey, Steve, how you doing? And let's see. 0.05 cents a point. Okay, Ryan, that's fantastic. Okay, and let's see, Steve. Yes, I watched it. Okay, all right. I'm trying to work through all these comments I missed. MJ, depends on how many people. Okay, good answer, Dan. I appreciate that. Didn't work out as good as it did in the other guy's video. Yeah. Let's see. That was from Ryan. Talking about City of Gold. Let's see, Steve, selling next Sunday on Wonder for 7 nights. Oh, I like Wonder. Wonder's a great ship. But some people, I don't know, some people rank it low on their thing. But anyway, all right, so we got $500. We're going to play the City of Gold because I ran it through the session the other day, and if you're following the channel, I run through sessions that people send me, strategies that people send me, and Ryan sent this one over and was like, hey, check this one out. It was on the Roulette Master TV channel. And he ran it on there, and it was like he made like $2,000 with it. And it's like, oh man, it can't get much better than that. Well, we ran it and it didn't go very well. So let's give it an opportunity. Let's just see. I had someone else put a comment in that said, instead of betting the first and second 12, try betting the first and the third, because he feels that the first and third hit more often than the second. So let's just see how it goes. Some of you saw the flow. I kind of made up a little flow chart. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but it starts with $10 and then it's 30, 30, 70, 70, 150, 150. That's kind of our limit of what we're going to play. And then I have to, because I can't keep up with stuff sometimes. So I have to I keep a chip here. So I'm going to keep up with the step I'm on. And I should have done it upside down, because I would say up a step, down a step. I don't know. I get lost. Anyway. So let's see. So we're on step 1. This is the City of Gold strategy. Let's go 20 spins with it. Let's see if it can be profitable swapping to the first and third dozens. Okay? Everybody good? All right. Dan says the first and third hit just as often as... I know. It's a matter of... maybe you could play this as a team strategy. Maybe one person can play these two and the other person can play these two, and maybe you'll, break even at the end. I don't know. Maybe. All right, so that was spin number 1. Let's see. What are we? So 27. All right, so that's a win there. And let's see. So that's going to be 10 and 10. Now we're going to reset back to 10 and 10. Take $10 to our rack. So have y'all seen the strategy on the Roulette Masters channel? He did it on the Roulette Masters, and then he's got another channel he started up that is Roulette Master TV. Okay, 8. Okay, that is a $10 profit right there. Reset. We're at $10 still. All right, 11. There we go. All right, another $10 profit. All right, we're going to go $10 right there. I mean, so far it doesn't look like it's going to lose. But I doubt that. All right, Steve says, I wonder if adding a column to this would help. Like that middle column. I don't know. It's a toss-up. Let's see here. So 16 right there. Let's see. That's a loss. Okay, so that's a loss. So now we go to step 2, which is 30 and 30. Okay, we're going to stay with the same ones we just lost on. So 30 and 30. Yeah, I just got through running a strategy. Y'all, it'll drop. Recorded it today. It'll drop Tuesday. I'm gonna try to put it out there Tuesday. But it's playing dozens and columns at the same time, and it's a lot to keep up with. I struggled with it. All right, there we go. That's a loss on 14 there. All right, we're going to step 3, which is again 30 and 30. So 30 there and 30 here. Let's see, Dan says, do you go to the roulette table with a number of spins goal, win/loss goal, point goal, or something else per session? I go, and sometimes I'll go, I'm not going to say I'm going to stay there for an hour, okay? Because if you put a time limit on there, you put yourself in a bind to where it's like 45 minutes you're in profit, and your points are probably pretty good, And if you walked away, you'd be in good shape. But if you stay another 15 minutes, you lose everything. Okay? So you have to pick that time to leave. I try to stick with spins. You know, if I'm testing a strategy out, I'll spend 10 spins. I know what my strategy is. I know what my average is. I check with the pit boss. I go for 10 spins, and then I cash out. I see what happens, okay, with my points. And then if it works out, then the next time I go, I'll shoot for 20 spins or 30 spins. I try to leave on either 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 spins. So I've got 10 spins in every time, you know, I guess in blocks of 10 spins, I guess I could say. All right, so that was a win there. So we're going to take this back. We're going to step 2, which is, again, 30 and 30 again. But I know people, they shoot for time. But I feel I get in trouble if I say time. If I'm going to say I'm going to stay there for 2 hours and play, I'm going to lose a lot of money. You got to just know when to walk away. Let's see. Steve asked, Dan, I go play for an hour. Okay, so Steve's answering the question to Dan. Dan's asking, are you going to test every roulette table on the ship from now on based on the last ship having the one table giving more points? Yeah, so on Voyager, there was one table that was just pouring out the points. That was 11, by the way. But it was just pouring out the points. And so we decided we're going to stick with that table once we figured that out. All right, so that was a win there. So now we're going back to step 1 and racking all this. But yeah, I think that's probably the best thing to do because, you know, one, it's either the pit boss. You got to find the right combination. I think the pit boss and the table makes a difference. So you've got to find that perfect combination. There's pit bosses that want to short you on points or short you on your average, but then there's also ones that's like they understand what you're there to do, and they'll just give you the average that you're expecting, or maybe a little bit better, which is why I try to build a relationship with them. All right, 1. All right, so there we go. There's that. All right, and we're going to stick with 10 and 10. We're not really getting anywhere with this strategy for some reason. All right, so let's see. 30-day gambler. Have you looked at the 6 odd street strategy I sent you? I don't think I've seen that one. 6 odd streets strategy. I don't think I've seen that one yet, guy. 23. That's a loss. And this is where we need that win to happen. We need that win to happen on step 2. I think that's, with this strategy here, I think you need to have the win happen on step 2 because that's your biggest chance of getting money back. I'll send it again. Yeah, send it to me again, which, you know, my email, and it's roulettecruisin@gmail.com. So if anybody has a strategy they want me to test out, hey, send it to me. I don't do anything to spin it out. I'm trying not to tear them apart, but, you know, I try to spin it out like you send it and like you describe it. I do the best I can. There we go. So we got that win there. So 3. All right. So there we go. So there's that. We're going back to step 1, which is $10 and $10. And all right, here we go. And yeah, I get them and I kind of look at them and I try to run them out a little bit just so I can kind of understand it before I sit down and record a video for it. And maybe not screw it up too bad. But sometimes, you know, hey, you know, we all have our strategy and we know what to do with it. And then you try to describe it to somebody else and they always mess it up. So I try not to be that guy. You know, I do the best I can with the information I'm given. And I cannot get this strategy here to really start earning. 36. That's another $10 profit there. Let's see, and I don't even know where our average would be for a strategy like this. We've gone up to $30 a piece, so maybe they caught us at $60. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what would y'all think the average should be on this? So I've got 10 and 10, so that's 20, and then I would have 30, 30. That's as high as we've gone so far. So it's anywhere between 20 and 30. Not 20 and 60. I'm sorry, 20 and 60. All right, 24. That's a loss. So what do y'all think the average should be on a strategy like this? So step 2 is 30 and 30. Okay, 30 and 30. But of course, it's all dependent on the pit boss, you know. And that's kind of what I'm starting to dislike about the table games. I feel like those of us that play the table games get kind of shorted or shafted, I guess, on the cruise points, because you don't know what your points are until after you finish playing, after you wait 15, 20 minutes, and then they put your, finalize your and then you look and you're like, oh man, I only got 50 points for that, and I was there for an hour. When people are sitting in a slot machine, they can see theirs real time. I don't know. I kind of wish they would improve the table games a little bit. All right, so that was a win right there. So now we're going back to step 1. All right. We are 15 spins in. All right, we're at 10. All right, here we go. And we're going to collect this one and bring that down right there. Yeah, I'm not sure how he played this strategy and how he made so much money off of it. Let's see, Steve says, I think I'm running Point Pusher the first couple of nights on the next cruise, then going to the 5 split streets or a version of it. Ryan says, not a good system for points. Yeah, I know. I would think that anywhere between 20 to 60, let's just say it's averaged at 40 points or 45 points. So it's not exactly the best. Okay, so 33. And there's that $10 profit. And reset. All right, this is spin number 17. All right, Dan says Royal is a lot better than some cruise lines where you never see table games at all. Okay. All right, so there's that. I thought Carnival had some kind of app where you could watch your points real time. Is that true? Somewhere I heard that. But it may be just, somebody blowing smoke. I don't know. Okay, 33. Okay, that's that $10 profit right there. All right. Reset. Okay, this is going better than the session I spun out the other day on it, Ryan. Said Carnival shows it on the app and separates slots from table points. Okay. So does the app update real time while you're playing the table game? Just curious. 21, that's a loss. All right, and that loss, we go to 30 and 30. All right, this is spin 20. Says, Carnival, you don't even know what you need to get for the free cruise. It's a big surprise. I really like the way Royal does it. I know what points I need to be chasing to receive an instant certificate. All right, so we lost that. See, we probably should have walked away at spin number 19. All right, but hey, now we've gone too far. Should we try to, even if we finish that cycle, I don't think we're going to get all of our money back. Let's see. And Andrew says, I don't check at the table, but when I walk away, it's updated. Okay. And Steve, but hey, we know the people on the roulette tables are more fun, though. I swear the comedy is pure gold. Hey, you know, after a couple of nights at the roulette table and you're packed in here, you better get friendly with everybody at some point. It's not as entertaining. I'm on step 3, by the way. It's not as entertaining as the craps table, but I try to make it fun. Just at least bring a little light to the table anyway. All right, so that's a win right there. All right, we're going back to step 2, which is 30 and 30 again. I'm just trying to see if we can get back to step 1. If we can get back to step 1, I'm pulling the plug. Let's see. You're committed now. Have to try and get back that. Yeah. I know. There we go. All right. So that's a 4. That's the win there. And there that is. All right. So let's say that's it. So we went 22 spins. We completed the cycle. We got it back to step 1. And let's see what we have here. So we bought in for 500. So here is 500. All right, there's 500 right there. All right, there's $80. So that's a profit of $80. So we're going to say 2, 3, 4, 5, and $80. Okay. So we put our cash with our cash, our chips with our chips. All right. What y'all want to run now? So not bad. I mean, that did a little better tonight than it did on the one I recorded this past week. It looks like it would be one of those that it would work out, right? And that's why you have to play these strategies, a couple times just to see kind of how they do, if they're profitable or at least can stay alive more often than they're getting killed. Hey, maybe it's a strategy to try out on a cruise, right? Let's see. Dan says, who has more? Oh, wait. Well, how many points did we get? All right, Ryan, how many points did we get? You were guessing on points. You said something about us being low on the points with that one. Would you give it 30 points or 40 or let's see. Who has more superstitions? Roulette players or craps players? Craps players are the worst because you better not say 7 while you're standing at the craps table. They'll throw you off the side of the ship. If you're not having fun, then it's not worth it. That's right, Steve. If you're not having fun, it's not worth it. And if you're playing with money you shouldn't be playing with, well, you shouldn't be in the casino. All right. Let's see. How many spins? Was it 25? I had 22 spins, Ryan. 22. So, I mean, if our average is, 10 spins or average, let's just say we just got 30 points every 10 spins. Maybe they had our average, because I've seen sometimes on the roulette table they'll give you a low and a high. Because it's like they come over here to see 20, then the next time they come over they see 60, and then they'll put you a low 20, high 60. I've seen them do that, but I don't know what it would do. Dan saying 68.75 points. All right, so we're going to say 70 points. Oh, Ryan says 70 points. All right, so we're going to say session 2 was 70 points. Okay, and we were up plus $80. All right, we're in good shape. We're up $90 for the night. Yeah, Steve's thinking 70 as well. All right, so we're all on the same page. All right, what strategy you want me to do now? What we got? We're at 45 minutes. So we're at 45 minutes. Let's see, we got yin and yang, we got 7 chips, we got 7 plus 3, we got the double street blaster, we got 7-11. Those are kind of the ones I wrote down to kind of revisit. Anybody got anything in mind they want me to Want me to run out? I like you guys to participate, and that way other people are seeing other strategies, because I would practice the same strategies over and over and over again. So when I get on the cruise, I feel more comfortable with it. The point pusher, I feel real comfortable with. The 6-2, I feel real comfortable with. The 30 chip, I feel real comfortable with, even though it takes a lot to set it out. Let's see. Try pure 5 split street. All right, Steve, you're going to walk me through that. What should my buy-in be, Steve? 200, 400, 800, 1,000. Well, you know, we play with $5 chips. Ben, you said that earlier. You said five split streets. So let's see what you want us to run it. What's our buy-ins? All right, buy-ins $400. Steve wants a $400 buy-in. Remember, you cash your CPass card. They scan it. They give it back to you. That's how you get your points. All right. All right. So $400. We playing with red chips, Steve? I'm assuming we're playing with red chips. So there's 2 red chips, and is it 1 chip or 2 chips per street? What you want to do? 20 on the first split, 25 on the other 4. Okay, 20 on the first split, so 20 right there, right? And then 25 on the other 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5. And 5 there. And 25 on the other 4. Okay, that looked right. So 20, 25, 25, 25, 25. All right, everybody on board? I've seen this one, but I haven't really played this one out. I think I saw this one on the CEG channel. So what's our average? Let's see. So that's 100. So 120 will be our average on this. All right, here we go. We're going to go our first spin here. All right, keep up with it, Steve. That way you know what to tell me to do next. Get my payout here ready. All right. All right, 23. All right, so that should be, what is that? That is a 6 chip profit, isn't it? I think it's 6 chips. And there, and there's 20 there. Okay, so there's 6 chip profit there. Okay, do you stay on the same splits or move them around? That's a question for Steve. When the 20 hits, return to base, increase 5 and 10 each win. Okay, now increase your 4 $25 bets to 30. Okay, so we have, so 25, there's 30, 30, 30, 30, and we have $10 left over. Do we bring the 10 back to our rack? I'm guessing we bring the 10 back to our rack. We're going to say that's our profit. Yeah, because we don't have enough to put 2 on there. Pocket it. Okay, that's right. Okay, we're pocketing this $10. All right, here we go. Next spin. All right. Let's see, Steve, going to use it on the next win. Okay, okay. All right, 4. And that hurt us. So we're just going to take them off right here. How about that? All right, so that's a loss there. Now we have to put 1 on there, right? And didn't we lose 4? That's all that. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've screwed everything up. Let's pay that so we know what we got. So make sure I'm 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, so now we're resetting back to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're bringing this right here. Okay. All right, so we've reset. Now we're back to 25 and 20. Go back to base. Okay. All right, it's a little bit of an insurance. So would you shift them or just ride them out? Keep them all the same. All right, 14. All right, we know that's a 6 chip profit. So there's 6 chips. Then add 1 to each of those to make them 30. Here's that 10 extra. I ride. Okay, so Steve rides it out. And we're at 120. 120. Now we're at $140. So you could be anywhere. Your average could be 120 to 140 at this point. Okay, so 19. All right, so here we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're going to go back down to 20 right there. And we're going to say 6 there, 6 there, 6 there. Okay, so here's our profit. That's 8. And then you said we add these 2. So now that makes 10 chip profit. What do we do with the 10? Do we now add $10 to the 4, make them 40 apiece? Okay, so 10, 10, 10, 10, and we have $10 left over. We pocket that, I'm assuming. After that wins, return to, okay, go back to base. Okay, so we're going to keep this 10 right here. All right, has anybody played this strategy before? I think I've seen it. I think Alex on CEG likes this strategy. I've seen him play it, but I never really run it through. All right, 6. Man. Just when we start going. Let's see. There we go here. 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 5. And there we go. Now we're back to base. I know. Can't get that other hit. All right, so 30-day gambler says, I played it. Steve, dang it. Back to base. Steve, it keeps you playing for sure. Yep. All right, let's see. So 21. All right, so there's that 5 chip profit right there. And there's 6 chips. I'm sorry. So 6 chips. All right. We can get that one later tomorrow, I reckon. All right, so there's 1, 1, 1, 1. I'll put that right there. And there, hold that right there. All right. Now we're at 30, 30, 30, 30, and 20. So we need 3 wins, essentially is what we're looking for here, Steve, right? In this block. So 12. All right. 4. 5. All right, so there's that. So now we're going to reset back to 4 there. Right there, right there, right there. And then we're going to put 2, 2, 2, and 2, right? And we're going to keep this $10 right here. All right. Steve says we're correct on our bet so far. Now we're at 40 on these 4 and 20 here. All right, 17. Bingo. All right, so there's 4 and 5. All right, so now after that win, It says, Andrew says, I've played it after watching it on CEG. It's great for double up after 3 hits, but I have been adding to reset too. Okay. All right, so we're going to bring it back down to 5 chips. And then 4 right there. So let's see what our profit is on that cycle there. Okay, so that's our profit. So right there, right there, right there. All right, so there it is. So this is profit for 1 cycle. So $120. So that's a $120 profit on 1 cycle. If you can get it to go 1 cycle. All right. So bring that back to our rack. Oh, did I put a chip there? I don't know, probably did. All right, 25. All right, that is another 6 chip profit. All right, here we go. Taking those up to 30, bringing that 10 back to our rack. All right, thanks guys for hitting that like button. I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all's involvement on these Sunday night spins. All right, 19. And I need to get better at knowing what that should pay out. All right, so there's that. And go back to 4 there. And then there's our extra. So 2, 2, 2, and 2. All right, can we do it again? Yeah, so Steve says I like the insurance on this one. Yeah, I mean this helps. But we've been lucky we haven't hit a high number yet. This is that superstitious thing. If we mention it, it will happen. And of course, look, I didn't even mention it. All right. So now we reset. What are we buying for? 400. All right, here we go. Try it again. I thought we were on to something. There's 8 numbers, so 8 numbers exposed on it. You said 7 at the table. Right. Yeah, Dan. I didn't even say it. I was thinking it. 0. Yeah, this ain't even right. Yeah. I don't think we're going to make it 20 spins. All right, resetting back to base. And right there. All right. If I could have everybody not think of a bad number, okay? Think of a good number. Anything between 7 and 30, all right? Think 17 or think 20. Oh, Lord have mercy. 00. I think somebody's turned the magnets on. Let's see. Steve says, good thing we got 4 bullets. Think my buy-in was off. Hey, and this is how it goes. I mean, this is how it happens. So, you know, you're off on a good strategy and the wheel proves you wrong. But all we need is a couple of good cycles and we're back even again. Turn the magnets off. Yeah. Repeat betters. Yeah, exactly. I know, anybody? Oh, Lord have mercy. 32. All right, so when's our walk away? When's our walk away, Steve? We have to call for mercy at some point. All right, so that's 15 spins. And I have $80 left. I don't have enough to cover it all. Let's see, now what? Let's see. What are we going to do with $80? Let's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we're going to go 8 streets. 8 streets to see what happens. Go to the pub, go back to the cabin. 2 dozens, 40 each. Oh man, he's already waved at Andrew. 1. Dang it, man. Okay. Well. All right. Somebody else want to pick another strategy? Anybody other than Steve? All right. It's all good, Steve. It happens to the best of us. Let's see. How many of you play neighbors? Do any of you like focus on like a neighborhood on the wheel? Either, you know, a group of numbers, you know, the 17, 20, 32, they're kind of all neighbors. So, let's see, Steve says, hey, but at least you got some good points. Okay, oh yeah, forgot. How many points did we get? We went, let's say 15 spins at 100 and, let's say they had us at 140. So 140 plus 70. So let's say we got 200 points for that session. How do y'all feel about that? 200 points. Dan says 200 points. All right, so we're going to say session 3 was 200 points. And we lost. Oh, we lost there. We won there. We lost $400. Ouch. Okay. All right. So I'm not sure if some of you follow. There's a channel on YouTube that is I think the guy's named Scott Clayton. So Scott has like a retired roulette wheel he got from somewhere. And he spins out like 40 to 50 numbers every day. That's kind of that's what his channel is. He spins out. And when I first started doing this, I was using his channel to practice my strategies. And, you know, he would spin it, you know, but during his while he's talking, he's always talking about neighbors. And I'm like, I couldn't quite follow what he was talking about because you don't know the wheel well enough. But anyway, let's try something here. All right, so I'm going to buy in for $300. I know you guys have a life, so you don't want to get off to doing something else. So, but let's do something real quick. So we're going to go neighbors, and we're going to go neighbors on what hits right now. Okay, so 31, and I'm going to play 3 numbers on one side of that and 3 numbers on the other side. So 31, okay, we're going to play 31, and we have 6, 18, 21. So 6, 18, 21. And then we have 8, 12, 19. So 8, 12, 19. Okay, so we're going to chase that neighborhood right there and see if it hits. Okay, we're not increasing our bets until after it misses 5 times. And we're going to have a walk away of $100 profit. I bought in for $300. Probably should have bought in for 400, but anyway, so that's a loss of 7 chips. We're not going to change it. We're going to see if that neighborhood comes back around, if it cycles back around. Betting that the dealer has a spin pattern. And that's one reason I went with the yin and yang strategy. I feel like if they can land it in half the wheel, that's 18 numbers to, and so that's kind of why I went with my yin and yang strategy. All right, so 33. All right, that's a loss. But I've tried playing it with every single number, going for the neighbors for that number, but it's a lot to keep up with. So if you set it one time and let those 7 numbers continue to run until you hit one. Okay, so that took 3 spins and it hit. And what we're looking for is a profit of $100. Okay, so that pays 35 to 1. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 35. So now we're going to bring that back to our rack. Okay, and that one neighborhood, all right, we're at a profit of $75. So now it's a question. Do we go ahead and walk away with the $75 profit? Or do we say, hey, we said our walk away is $100 profit. So are we going to go for the $100 that we said? Or do you walk away and just be happy with the $75? I want to go for one more. I'm going to try to break that $100 and see if it happens. Now I'm going to let the wheel spin. I'm going to let it fall. All right, it's 22. Okay, so 22. So now 3 numbers on one side of 22, 3 numbers on the other side. So we have 22. And then we have 5, 17, 32. So 5, 17, 32. And then 3, 15, 34. 3, 15, 34. All right, so let's see. We want to see how long that takes. So the last time it took 3. We're going to see how many it takes this one here, okay? Let's see, Steve, do you always keep your profit and bullets separate? If I'm looking to see, like if I'm trying to run a cycle on something, and if I want to turn $20 into 40, or if I want to turn $20 into 80, then I'll try to pull that 80 to the side, so that way I'm always keeping my profit. So I know I'm walking away with something. All right, so 33. All right, so that's a loss. All right, so there's 7 chips there. And it's according to what strategy I'm playing. If I'm just wanting time at the table, I'll just keep colored chips coming. But if I'm just trying to make a little profit, then I'll convert it to cash chips when they cash me, whenever they cash it out. Okay, 11. How about you guys? Do you keep your profits separate, or do you continuously just keep feeding the rack the same colors? All right, 5. There we go. So it took 3 spins to hit the 5. All right, and again, that pays 35 to 1. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to bring all that back to our rack. And there we go. So we bought in for $300. So there's our 300. Okay, so there's 400. So that's $100 profit right there. $150 profit on on that, just something I'm trying here. I'm not sure if I would play this or not, but it's an idea. I've tried it several sessions and just kind of chasing one neighborhood, and it seems to work out. I mean, usually you get one of those 7 numbers to hit. The most I've seen it go is about 7 spins. So, just kind of something for you guys to try out and see what you guys think. All right, so we're cashing out with 400. So $450. And let's see what we finished with for the night. Let's see what we got here. So Steve says, when I play Split Street and set it up, the bullets and split my profits using the cup holder, I walk away after 2 or 3 whacks. Okay. Let's see. Is that Yang? Spend $40, get $20 the way. Put 1 in second dozen, then first and second dozen bottom. Oh, you're talking about down here, columns and everything. Every win double up. Whew, that'd get expensive. It's like a martingale strategy on your columns and your dozens. You're playing 2 dozens and two columns. You better have like, I don't know, 10 grand. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, there's 7. So 8. So $820. So $820 for the night. So we're down 100 and 180. So we're down $180 for the night. That last session had 7 chips out there. It's 35. Let's just say we probably only got 50 points. Okay, so session 4 is 50 points. We actually profited $180. No, something like that. I don't know, whatever. Let's see, points wise, it's 2, 3, 420, 500. That sound right? 180. Yeah, we're setting at 500 points for the night. All right, so 500 points, 4 sessions, and we're down $180. What's our price per point there, Ryan? You seem to keep up with that pretty good. So $180 loss and earn 500 points for the night. So that was we had some good sessions. That one thing didn't work out for us, Steve, but hey, that's why we practice this stuff. We run these things out to know, can it work or can it not? And sometimes it just don't, right? But sometimes it does. And Steve says actually not terrible on points versus loss. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I mean, if I had a night like that on the cruise, I would be perfectly happy with that. So Ryan says it's 36 cents per point. All right, there we go. So 36 cents a point. We did pretty good tonight. All right, guys. Well, we've been on here an hour and 15 minutes. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Just working through some strategies together. That's why I do this, to kind of help everybody learn the game a little better, know what to do in certain situations, because you don't want to get to the table with one strategy in your pocket, right? You do not want to go with just one strategy, because when that one goes bad, then you got to have something to switch over to. And that's the reason I have so many to pick from. And let's see. So Steve says, I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. All right. So remember, you guys, Mother's Day is next Sunday. So make sure you get any gifts or whatever you need to get for your wife or your moms. Okay. Make sure you get that taken care of. 30 Day Gambler's out of here. Appreciate you watching, guy. And hey, I'll be on here next weekend. I'm going to try to be on there next Sunday. The following Sunday, I'm going to be on a cruise, so I won't be here in 2 weeks. So I'll try to get something posted on there early enough you guys will know to get it scheduled and to be sure to join me. But for now, until next time, happy cruising. Make sure to like and subscribe to 35 to 1 Roulette Cruisin. And until next time, happy cruising. We'll see you. Bye.